What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel, and this video is about Jon Jones. Once again, we are back on this topic as Jon Jones just did a timely interview on the Full Send podcast. I've got two clips in particular that I want to play that are firing everybody up, and this is on the heels of Dana White coming out and saying that he's going to know whether or not Tom Aspinall is fighting Jon Jones in a couple of weeks. That's what he said in a recent interview. So obviously the actual definition of a couple would be 2 weeks, but I don't even know if that means 2, 3, or multiple or whatnot. But I think we're going to be finding out pretty soon. So right after Dana White made this statement, Jon Jones went on the Full Send podcast and had an interview with Kyle from Nelk, and he pissed a lot of people off. So we're going to play these clips, and then I'm going to talk about the aftermath and how everybody is feeling and what my interpretation of what's going on. But you can see in the little subtitle that you might realize that I still think this is all playing into his plan. I think all of this he's doing intentionally. Maybe some people are saying he stormed off at the end. I'm going to show that clip. Maybe he was upset. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe aggravated, but I still feel like everything is playing into his plan, and all of this negative attention is exactly what he wants. So we'll talk about that at the end. But first, let's play both of these clips. We're going to talk about them one by one. Check this out.
So what's next for you? Like, are you officially retired? Or like,
good question.
Everyone's wondering, is Jon Jones retired? Is he fighting again?
I don't want to say that I'm retired because fighting's in my blood. Right now, I could really care less about fighting. I've been doing it my whole life at a very high level. And when the itch comes back, and if it comes back, then I'll do it with my whole heart. I'll do it to the best of my abilities.
So this clip in particular, I think I saw so many YouTube channels say like Jon Jones is a disgrace. I think Daniel Cormier posted something to strip Jon Jones. He's saying, hey, I could care less about fighting. So what is he doing as the champion? We need to strip him. What people are missing is it's like everybody's like, oh, it's your duty. I actually think the reason why he's doing all this is to make a negotiation play with the UFC. Look, he's, I think, trying to put on the front right now as he continues this negotiation out, which is what I think is happening right now. As I mentioned in the previous video, I think he made an offer of what he would like. And I'm just saying this because Ariel Helwani said he rejected what the UFC accepted. Then I think the UFC accepted it, and I think he had a second think about it and said, no, I actually want more money, maybe because he realized he could get more money or felt his worth was higher on second thought for whatever reason, backed out of that original verbal acceptance, and then is asking for more money. And so right now he's trying to put out the message, maybe privately and publicly, that he doesn't need this fight, that he's not obsessing over fighting, to again improve his strength from during this negotiation. People have said that Jon Jones will often negotiate with the UFC publicly, and I think that's exactly what's going on. So all the people that are getting so triggered and upset that he's saying he doesn't care about fighting and he's not even thinking about fighting, I think you're playing exactly into his hands, because it's just making the fight bigger and bigger. Javier Mendez described this perfectly. Now, in this last clip, I think this is going to be another point definitely in favor of this theory that he wants to fight. He just wants to be compensated more so than maybe whatever he originally threw out as a first offer. Check this out.
What would it take to fight Tom Aspinall from the UFC? Like, what does the UFC got to do?
Said something real wild on off the cuff. I'll see you guys later.
That's it.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks for the happy
Jon
beer.
Jones.
He said it's hard to hear it, but he said send something really wild and off the cuff. I mean, that's negotiation for you. I mean, again, it could be that he is just not going to do it, but I know that's what a lot of people are going with, but it doesn't add up, because if he is telling the UFC that he's not moving and he's not interested, they would strip him. I think they still believe there's a chance. Granted, if I remember correctly, they didn't strip Khabib for a while because I think Dana was trying to convince him to come back to fight. I really do think if there was absolutely no chance that Jon Jones will be returning and fighting Tom Aspinall, I think the UFC would strip him at this point and have the division move forward. I think. I think. And I think so. I think there is a number, or there's some sort of a deal that is possible. They have to, otherwise he will be stripped eventually. So that's what I think is happening right now. Maybe I'm giving Jon Jones too much credit. That's possible, but everybody says he's the best mind in the sport. So a big part of me is thinking this is all some sort of like crazy chess game that he's playing. Javier Mendez said a lot of other people are saying it too. But this is all good for business. And in fact, if they can lock down this fight, this might even be good for the UFC at the end of the day as well. Yes, they might have to pay a higher price tag for Jon Jones, but people keep talking about it and people get so mad and it's like rage bait. So more people are clicking on the videos. There's more buzz being built. I don't know. So that's my 2 cents. I think all of this and everybody thinking that they're hurting Jon Jones when they're coming out and making negative videos about him, I think are feeding into his agenda. And maybe indirectly, eventually feeding into the UFC's agenda. I think they're probably getting annoyed because they would like to announce the fight, or maybe use it to play on the first streaming event of Netflix, or use it as leverage to raise the price tag on Netflix. I don't know what, but I think the UFC would like to be able to market it and use it already. But at the end of the day, the fight's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The longer it's delayed, the longer Jon Jones plays these games, the longer people get messed up, pissed off, the longer people create petitions. Hundreds of thousands of people have created petitions. You know what that means? That means that all those people, when this fight eventually happens, if it happens, are going to be super invested because they're now probably pissed off and they want to see Jon Jones lose. This is crazy. This is so insane. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but let's see what happens. The saga. It annoys me sometimes. Sometimes I say I don't care about the fight anymore, and then it sucks me back in. And right now, I'm interested again. Anyways, we shall see what happens. Hopefully a couple of weeks means in reality the true definition, which is 2 weeks. And we know by the first week of July what's going down. Fingers crossed. Let's pray to the MMA gods. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you like this video, make sure to click that like button. If you want to see more, make sure to click subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.